Attention! This is not material for passive consumption. It is designed to be heard with maximum concentration. The following revelations are direct, potentially disturbing, and may challenge your perceptions. Due to the sensitive nature of the content, its availability may be limited. Your experience on this topic is valuable. Leave it in the comments.
What if the people closest to you are slowly draining your sanity? That coworker who boasts endlessly, that friend who subtly undermines you, that partner who always plays the victim. They could be carrying toxic traits that Alfred Adler, the pioneer of individual psychology, warned us to avoid. These aren't just annoying habits. They're dangerous behaviors that manipulate, control, and threaten your mental health. Adler saw these traits as rooted in deep insecurities, in the struggle to overcome feelings of inferiority, often at the expense of others. That uneasy feeling when someone's praise feels hollow, when their criticism cuts too deep, or when their control suffocates you. It's a signal, a call to recognize the danger and escape before their toxic influence consumes you. In this video, we're exposing the 7 toxic traits Adler said you must avoid to save your sanity. Stay with us because by the end, you'll know how to spot these threats, protect your mind, and act now to break free. Have you ever felt your sanity slipping because of someone's toxic behavior? Let's uncover the truth together. The first toxic trait is the overcompensator. Adler taught us that feelings of inferiority drive people to overcompensate, masking their insecurities with exaggerated confidence or achievements. Overcompensators boast, dominate conversations, and inflate their worth to feel superior. But their manipulation lies in making you feel small to prop themselves up. You might know an overcompensator, a coworker who brags about their success, a friend who name drops to impress, a partner who exaggerates their importance. Their toxic trait is a shield for their fragile ego, and it can erode your sanity if you don't escape. Picture a coworker named Jake. He's always talking about his big deals, his fancy car, his connections. "I closed $1 million contract last week," he says at lunch, his voice loud, his smile wide. You nod, but when you mention your own project, he interrupts, saying, "That's cute, but let me tell you about my latest win." His boasting isn't just annoying, it's designed to diminish you, to make you feel less capable. That's the overcompensator's manipulation, rooted in Adler's idea of striving for superiority, to hide inferiority. Their toxic trait drains your confidence, making you question your worth. Or consider a friend named Lisa. She's always posting about her perfect life, her vacations, her promotions, her flawless family. When you share your own achievements, she one-ups you, saying, "Oh, that's nice, but I just got invited to an exclusive event." Her need to outshine you isn't just ego, it's a toxic attempt to feel better about herself. Or imagine a partner named Tom who brags about his intelligence, saying, "I'm the one who keeps this relationship together." When you challenge him, he dismisses you, saying, "You wouldn't understand." That's the overcompensator's toxic trait, building themselves up by tearing you down. To recognize an overcompensator, watch for excessive bragging. Do they dominate conversations with their achievements? Do they belittle your successes even subtly? Notice their need to be the center of attention. It's a sign of insecurity, not strength. To protect your sanity, don't feed their ego. Avoid competing or praising their boasts. Instead, redirect the conversation neutrally like, "That's interesting. Let's talk about the project." Build your self-worth by focusing on your own goals, not their comparisons. Document their behavior. Note when they undermine you with dates and details in case their actions escalate. If their boasting makes you feel small, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt diminished by someone's endless self-praise? That's the overcompensator, and you need to protect yourself now. The second toxic trait is the belittler. Adler saw this trait as a way to mask inferiority by undermining others, making them feel inferior to boost their own ego. Belittlers use subtle digs, sarcasm, or backhanded compliments to erode your confidence, their manipulation disguised as humor or concern. You might know a belittler, a friend who mocks your dreams, a coworker who questions your competence, a partner who makes you feel inadequate. Their toxic trait chips away at your sanity, leaving you doubting yourself. Imagine a friend named Sarah. You tell her you're starting a new business and she smirks, saying, "That's ambitious, but are you sure you can handle it?" Her tone is playful, but her words sting. When you share your progress, she adds, "Well, it's a start, but don't expect to get rich." Her comments aren't outright insults, they're subtle, designed to make you second-guess yourself. That's the belittler's manipulation, using Adler's inferiority complex to make you feel less so they feel more. Their toxic trait is a slow poison, eroding your confidence over time. Or consider a coworker named Mike. He's always quick with a joke, but his humor targets you. "Nice presentation," he says after your meeting, "but maybe next time don't stammer so much." The team laughs, but you feel humiliated. When you confront him, he shrugs, saying, "It was just a joke, relax." That's the belittler's toxic trait, hiding their attack behind humor. Or imagine a partner named Emily, who sighs when you cook dinner, saying, "It's fine, but I'm used to better." Her words cut, making you feel like you're never enough. That's the belittler's manipulation, undermining your sanity to feel superior. To recognize a belittler, watch for subtle put-downs. Do their compliments feel like insults? Do they question your abilities or mock your efforts? Notice their tone. Sarcasm or pity often masks their intent. To protect yourself, don't internalize their words. Respond calmly, like, "I'm confident in my work," and don't engage with their jabs. Build your self-worth by surrounding yourself with supportive people. Document their comments. Save texts or note what they say with dates in case their behavior turns hostile. If their words make you doubt yourself, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt your confidence crumble under someone's subtle digs? That's the belittler, and you need to escape now. The third toxic trait is the rival. Adler emphasized that unhealthy competition stems from an inferiority complex, driving people to see others as threats to their superiority. Rivals compete destructively, not to improve themselves but to defeat you, their manipulation rooted in jealousy and insecurity. You might know a rival, a coworker who sabotages your work, a friend who always tries to outdo you, a family member who turns everything into a contest. Their toxic trait is a relentless need to win, even at the cost of your sanity. Picture a coworker named Alex. You're both up for a promotion, but instead of focusing on his work, Alex targets you. He takes credit for your ideas, saying, "I suggested that in the last meeting." He spreads rumors about your performance, whispering to colleagues, "He's not ready for this role." His competition isn't healthy, it's toxic, designed to tear you down. Adler warned that rivals use their inferiority as fuel, their manipulation a way to feel superior by defeating you. Or consider a friend named Rachel. You share that you're training for a marathon, and she immediately signs up saying, "I bet I'll finish faster." Every conversation becomes a comparison. Her job is better, her house bigger, her life shinier. When you succeed, she downplays it, saying, "That's great, but I just landed a bigger deal." That's the rival's toxic trait, turning friendship into a battlefield. Or imagine a sibling named Mark who competes over family attention. When you get praise, he interrupts with his own achievements, saying, "Well, I just got a raise." His rivalry isn't love, it's a toxic need to outshine you. To recognize a rival, watch for destructive competition. Do they turn everything into a contest? Do they undermine your successes or take credit for your work? Notice their reactions. Jealousy or dismissiveness when you win is a red flag. To protect yourself, don't engage in their games. Celebrate your achievements privately and avoid sharing big plans with them. Document their sabotage, save emails or note incidents with dates to protect your reputation. If their competition feels personal, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt someone was competing with you for no reason? That's the rival, and you need to protect your sanity now. The fourth toxic trait is the controller. Adler saw control as a way to mask inferiority by dominating others, asserting power to feel secure. Controllers dictate your choices, monitor your actions, and demand compliance, their manipulation suffocating your freedom. You might know a controller, a partner who controls your time, a boss who micromanages, a friend who insists on having their way. Their toxic trait is a need to dominate, draining your sanity with their grip. Imagine a partner named Sophie. She checks your phone saying, "I just want to know who you're talking to." She plans your weekends, dismissing your preferences with, "I know what's best for us." When you push back, she guilt trips you saying, "If you loved me, you'd listen." Her control isn't care, it's manipulation, rooted in Adler's idea of striving for power to hide insecurity. That's the controller's toxic trait, making you feel trapped in their world. Or consider a boss named David. He micromanages every task, emailing you at midnight with, "I need this redone by morning." When you suggest a better approach, he snaps, "Just do it my way." His need to control stifles your creativity, leaving you stressed. That's the controller's manipulation, asserting dominance to feel secure. Or imagine a friend named Mia who always decides where you go, saying, "You'll love this place, trust me." When you suggest something else, she sulks, making you feel guilty. That's the controller's toxic trait, demanding compliance at the cost of your freedom. To recognize a controller, watch for domineering behavior. Do they dictate your choices or react poorly to your independence? Do they use guilt or anger to keep you in line? Notice their need to control details, your time, your decisions, your life. To protect yourself, set firm boundaries. Say, "I'll make my own plans," and enforce it. Document their behavior. Save messages or note controlling incidents with dates in case they escalate. If their control feels suffocating, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt trapped by someone's need to control you? That's the controller, and you need to escape now. The fifth toxic trait is the victim. Adler noted that some people adopt a victim mentality to manipulate others, using their perceived weakness to gain sympathy or power. Victims blame others for their problems, demand constant support, and guilt-trip you into compliance, their manipulation draining your emotional energy. You might know a victim, a friend who's always in crisis, a partner who blames you for their unhappiness, a co-worker who shirks responsibility. Their toxic trait is a trap, pulling you into their drama to save your sanity. Picture a friend named Emily. She's always in a crisis. Her job, her relationships, her health. "I don't know how I'll get through this," she says, tears in her eyes, asking for your help again. You drop everything to support her, but when you need her, she's too busy. If you say no, she sobs, saying, "You're abandoning me like everyone else." That's the victim's manipulation, using Adler's inferiority complex to guilt you into submission. Their toxic trait exhausts you, threatening your sanity. Or consider a partner named James. He's always complaining, his boss is unfair, his friends betray him, his life is a mess. "You're the only one who gets me," he says, leaning on you for constant support. But when you're struggling, he dismisses you, saying, "My problems are worse." His victimhood isn't vulnerability, it's control. Or imagine a coworker named Lisa, who misses deadlines, saying, "I'm so overwhelmed, no one helps me." When you offer solutions, she sighs, "You don't understand." That's the victim's toxic trait, using pity to dodge accountability. To recognize a victim, watch for constant complaints. Do they always need rescuing? Do they guilt-trip you when you set limits? Notice if their crises never resolve, keeping you hooked. To protect yourself, set boundaries. Offer empathy, but don't solve their problems. Say, "I hear you, but I can't fix this." Document their demands. Note texts or conversations that feel manipulative, with dates. If their drama drains you, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt trapped by someone's endless crises? That's the victim, and you need to protect your sanity now. The sixth toxic trait is the envy. Adler saw envy as a destructive force, driven by an inferiority complex that makes people resent others' success. Enviers undermine you, spread negativity, or sabotage your achievements. Their manipulation fueled by jealousy. You might know an envier, a friend who downplays your wins, a coworker who resents your promotion, a family member who criticizes your happiness. Their toxic trait is a poison, eroding your joy to save their ego. Imagine a friend named Mike. You share that you got a new job and his smile tightens. That's great, he says, but adds, it's probably not as good as it sounds. When you post about it online, he comments, hope you can handle the stress. His envy isn't subtle. It's a toxic attempt to dim your shine, rooted in Adler's idea of inferiority driving resentment. That's the envier's manipulation, making you feel guilty for succeeding. Or consider a coworker named Sarah. You lead a successful project and she's quick to point out flaws, saying, it's good, but I would have done it differently. She spreads doubts among colleagues, hinting you got lucky. Her envy isn't just criticism, it's sabotage. Or imagine a family member named Tom who scoffs when you buy a new car, saying, why waste money on that? His resentment isn't concern, it's a toxic need to pull you down. That's the envier's manipulation, attacking your happiness to feel better. To recognize an envier, watch for jealousy. Do they downplay your successes or criticize your achievements? Do they seem bitter when you're happy? Notice their tone. Sarcasm or forced congratulations are red flags. To protect yourself, limit what you share. Celebrate your wins with supportive people, not those who resent you. Document their behavior. Save messages or note critical comments with dates to protect your reputation. If their negativity dims your joy, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt someone resented your success? That's the envier, and you need to escape now. The seventh toxic trait is the dominator. Adler saw domination as an extreme form of striving for superiority, where people assert power to mask their insecurities. Dominators intimidate, demand obedience, and crush opposition, their manipulation a blunt force that threatens your autonomy. You might know a dominator, a boss who bullies, a partner who controls through fear, a friend who demands loyalty. Their toxic trait is a need to overpower, draining your sanity with their aggression. Picture a boss named David. He rules the office with an iron fist, barking orders like, do it now or you're out. When you suggest a new idea, he shuts you down, saying, I'm in charge here. His intimidation isn't leadership, it's domination, rooted in Adler's idea of using power to hide inferiority. That's the dominator's manipulation, crushing your confidence to maintain control. Or consider a partner named Rachel. She demands you follow her rules, saying, if you loved me, you'd do this. Her anger flares when you disagree, her voice low, threatening, don't make me mad. Her control isn't love, it's a toxic need to dominate. Or imagine a friend named Alex who insists you side with him in every conflict. If you don't, he turns cold, saying, I thought you were loyal. That's the dominator's toxic trait, forcing compliance through fear. To recognize a dominator, watch for intimidation. Do they use threats or anger to get their way? Do they dismiss your opinions to assert power? Notice their body language. Aggressive posture or intense stares are red flags. To protect yourself, don't show fear. Respond calmly, like I'll consider your input, and set firm boundaries. Document their behavior, record meetings or save messages with dates in case their intimidation escalates. If their aggression makes you feel powerless, that's a sign to avoid them. Have you ever felt crushed by someone's need to dominate? That's the dominator, and you need to protect yourself now. Let's bring this together. These 7 toxic traits, the overcompensator, the belittler, the rival, the controller, the victim, the envier, the dominator, are not just flaws. They're dangers Alfred Adler warned us about, rooted in the struggle to overcome inferiority, often at your expense. They're the coworker who boasts to diminish you, the friend who undermines your confidence, the partner who controls your every move, the family member who envies your success. Their manipulation is toxic, threatening your sanity, your peace, your freedom. But you have the power to recognize them, to protect yourself, to avoid their influence before it's too late. Start with awareness. Know these toxic traits and their patterns. The overcompensator brags. Don't feed their ego. The belittler undermines, trust your worth. The rival competes, protect your achievements. The controller dictates, set firm boundaries. The victim demands pity, limit your involvement. The envié resents, share less with them. The dominator intimidates, stand your ground. Build your self-worth by focusing on your strengths, not their criticism. Set clear limits, say no, and mean it. Document their behavior. Save texts, emails, or notes of toxic interactions, with dates and details, to protect yourself if their actions escalate. Trust your instincts. If someone's behavior feels draining, manipulative, or threatening, it is. You don't have to be their victim. You can recognize the danger, protect your sanity, and avoid their toxic grip. You're not alone. Maybe you're thinking of someone right now, someone whose boasting, criticism, or control has drained you. Have you seen these toxic traits in your life? Have you felt your sanity slipping under their manipulation? Share your story in the comments. Tell us about the coworker who sabotaged you, the friend who belittled you, the partner who controlled you. Your experience could help someone else recognize the red flags they're missing. The more we share, the more we learn to protect ourselves. If you want to dive deeper into Alfred Adler's psychology, the toxic traits you can't ignore, and how to save your sanity from manipulative people, hit that subscribe button. Danger. Radar is here to guide you, to help you unmask the threats hiding in your life. Don't let their manipulation control you. Protect your mind now, stay sharp, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.